Okay,
4
continuing
years.
on with our outstanding guest speaker series, today the TMCC Library Open Genealogy Lab is proud to present Kim Pratt, U.S. Navy veteran and Chief Administrator of Together We Served, also known as TWS. Together We Served is about helping veterans create a legacy for their families of their military history. They have the largest archive of military profiles that include years of service, units, and more. TWS gives a place for veterans to try to reconnect with those they served with, to find out what happened to their brothers and sisters in the military. It also offers family members to join and create their veterans profile, and there are volunteer veterans that are more than willing to help the family find out more. For instance, finding those that may have served with their deceased father to find out more information on their father. TWS has also helped so many of the Veterans Administration vets with their disability claims to find others for witness statements. So please, let's put our hands together and welcome Kim Pratt.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I'm glad to be here. So let me tell you a little more about TWS. As Suzanne had said, it is the biggest military archive of military information, okay? Besides going to the National Archives, which is a little limited in some cases. For instance, we have 2 million veterans that are signed up on our Together We Served site. It is not a government organization. It is a private organization headed by a gentleman who believed very much in our military, who did not serve in the military. He began this with the Army, with the Navy and the Marines, and now we have all 5 branches. And about 2 to 3 years, we're going to start adding the new airspace military branch that they're creating, which already has 10,000 military personnel. So with that said, a veteran, and it's a place for them to create their military history, and we help them every step of the way. It's very easy to create your history. It is also a place for family who would like to honor their veteran and keep their military history alive as a legacy to their families, who can always come on and look at their shadow boxes or become a family member of Together We Served and look at their veterans profile. They can add to it. We encourage the families, I'll show you, there's a reflections part, to reflect on what they know of their veterans' history and what they can add to it. Now, that is not only for deceased veterans, that is also for living veterans who are unable to really get on the computer and work to their profile. It's like I tell my grandson, I'll be doing something on a computer. I was in IT in the military, and my grandson today, who's only 9, will make me look bad at times. So that's how much it is all changed. So we also give you avenues to research more. It's like Ancestry, newspapers.com, and Fold 3. Fold 3, all of those are owned by Ancestry. Fold 3 gets all of their military information from Together We Served. Okay, so if you have an Ancestry account, you may want to look into adding the Fold 3 account. I would also look into newspapers.com, because you can search through all these newspapers and find obituaries. You can find information or articles that may have been done on someone that you know. Okay, it is a database. Another site, when you're trying to find out gravesite information, there is a site that many of you probably already know about. It's called Find a Grave. Okay, there is also, if you have a veteran who was fallen during a conflict and they were never, or their remains were not returned, or you need to find out if they have been and what has happened with that, there is an organization that I can reach out to try to find out what information that they have and if they have a photo, because we have a lot of families that come in and say, I do not have a photo. So we will reach out to a couple of organizations that I've got my little hands into and try to find out more information. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
How far back, which wars do they go back that can be reached?
We have profiles, and like I said, of the 2 million, they're deceased and assisted and living, they're currently active, or they're veterans. With that said, our researchers that we have are veterans that volunteer their time, and they each specific wartime to work and find profiles and create profiles. We have profiles that go all the way back to before the Civil War. So we have profiles that go back to 1817, 1826. So we do have some that go very far back. If you're trying to find more information on them, you can always reach out to us once you're a member, and we can help you look for more information. Okay. The woman that I work with at an organization called DPA, she is absolutely wonderful. I had asked her if there was a veteran in the Army that had been a KIA, and they just recently got his remains back, and I asked her about what information can you send me. That woman sent me his information, his father's information, his grandfather's information, his great-grandfather's information, and we were back to the Revolutionary War. And so there is a lot of information out there. It's just being able to have those avenues to look for it. I will send Suzanne a link to that organization, and she can forward it to anyone that might be interested. It is a paying membership. I don't know how much it is, but it is a paying membership. Okay. Sometimes I know that you hear from the National Archives that, the records were lost, they were burned. You'll be very surprised at what our researchers can find. And Suzanne just recently told me about Twisted Twigs, which I think was absolutely great. It's really a great place. However, like I said, also along with that, we have guys that are veterans. A lot of them are police detectives that are retired, that do a lot of research, that can get into things that a normal person can't. So with that said, are there any questions right now before I start showing you TWS?
Raise your hand if you have a question.
Is it a paid site or a free site?
Oh, they want to know if your site is paid or free.
We have 2 membership levels, free membership and full membership. With a free membership, you can create your family profile or your veteran profile, put all your information in, put all the information of your veteran. And then if you know the unit that, let's say, your father or grandfather were assigned to, you can reach out to also their list of military personnel on TWS attached to that unit at the same time. Our full membership allows you access to the whole site. So you can see full profiles. You can look at profiles beyond what would be in, let's say, your grandfather's, also their list of his unit. You can look for other units. You can add, and with a free, you can also add, if you're doing a deceased profile, you can also add as many military profiles as a lot of families. They have quite a few military in family tree, so they can create more than one profile attached to their family profile. But if you do become a paying member, it's $19.95 for the entire year. It's not monthly, that is yearly. There is also a 3-year membership that does not auto-renew, but that is $49.98, and we have a promo code going on right now, which makes it only 50%, which is $19.95. So, and then we have what we call our lifetime membership. If you find that you're you really want to use the site and what it offers. The lifetime membership is normally $99.98, but with the promo code, it's a one-time charge of $49, and you're done. But it is great to have that because you can access more. It's like with many organizations, they have different levels of membership. We have two: you're a free membership or a full. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we have another question.
Yes.
Do they also do Confederate as well as the other? She said back to like the revenue.
I'm sorry?
She wants to know if you also have Confederate Army or Confederate side records.
Yes, we have Confederate and Union. Yes. Yep. And we have quite a few. And we have we list as many Medal of Honor recipients that we find. This is also a great place. PWS has the largest archive of basic training and boot camp graduation photos of the entire group. Now, we find those online. We find them at sites wherever we can grab them. A lot of them are member added. And then we are currently working with a woman on the Navy. On Facebook, she has a Navy page. She has over 700 yearbooks already scanned that she's going to pass over to us. We have 800 ready to load up, and that is the yearbooks themselves. And we're working towards, in the near future, for veterans and family members to be able to download the whole book, like in a PDF. So this is a project that we do have going on. And when we get into the site, I'll show you the military plaques, which are free, and they're great to have. And then we also have what we call our shadow boxes. So yes, we do go way back. Does that answer your question for you? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, okay. Well, I'm going to take over the screen here real quick if I can remember how she told me to do this.
Just click on the little screen icon at the top of middle of the top of your screen.
Okay. I am. Nothing's happening.
You clicked on the screen icon?
Yeah. Yes, and I'm getting whatever's the only thing dropping down. I don't see that I'm getting a not like the other day when I could share. So I don't know what we
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let me go to hold on, let me go do something here.
I mean, I'm getting the. Oh, never mind.
Did you find it?
Green icon. I got it. Okay. So everybody can.
Yeah, now we can see it.
Here, and then okay, and then if I'm on video, you're going to see the side of my head, and I'm sorry. Okay. So the first thing I want to show you is if you come out to togetherweserved.com, okay, you can join here. But first, I want to show you our roll of honor. So when you come here, you can get to our roll of honor, which is a free thing to do. You can cruise through this as much as you want. We have every branch, and so I'll start with Navy. So once you click on the Navy one, you're going to see we have living veterans, fallen sailors, and deceased veterans. Okay, so let's say you're looking for a deceased veteran. Here, let me do this. I want to go and into the Marines. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's going to come up with this whole big list, and we have 214,000 or 21,000 deceased profiles. We have a lot of family members that will email to let us know that their husband or their brother or someone has passed, and then we will go out and look for their obituary and try to find any photos and ask them if they have any more information that they would like to put to this. So when you're searching, you want to put in the last name, and then you're just going to go ahead and make sure you hit the search tool. Of course, it didn't come up. Okay, so I just put in the last name. It might be it can be finicky, I won't lie. So anyway, it'll bring it up. So I'm looking for my grandfather. Okay, so this is my grandfather right here, and it will pull up the shadow box view of his profile. Okay, and if you are a member, I'll show you. If you are a member, I have to go back and log in, sorry. We have our military plaque reach out email going out right now, so it makes things kind of slow. All right, so now if I want to go back to that roll of honor, oh, it still doesn't have me logged in. Okay. I don't know why this is really asking for this, to be honest with you, because as an admin, we get in there automatically. But if you are a paid member, okay, and you go to search for someone's profile, as I pulled up my grandfather's, if I wanted to, I could click right here and I would be able to go and open up his full profile instead of the. However, if you're looking for someone that's fallen or deceased or living, you can type in their last name on the roll of honor and pull up their shadow box view. So this is a short information about who they are, and this right here, when you click your shadow box of their profile, like here. It shows their medals, their unofficial or official badges. It will, their skill badges, if we have their boot camp image, if we have the units that they were in, it will show the patch that they were with. Each of these pages have a unit page also, and it will take you out, and it will, if you click on the patch, it opens it up, and it will show you everyone that was attached to that unit at the time the veteran was. And then going back, if you click on their plaque, this is what comes up. This is what we are offering currently, and it is a free item. Okay, you fill in the information as much as you can, what you can do from the homepage when you, and I will show you that. And then you can email it to yourself and then download, click on the thumbnail, download the plaque and have it printed. Just send it to like Walgreens or your local photo lab. And in the email that we send to you, it will tell you what sizes it will print and where to get the acrylic frames if that's what you would like to use. I suggest to people use a 5x7, mat if you want to, I'm talking about the border, the map border that you can get, and have it cut to the 7x4 size. Otherwise, I would do the acrylic frame. They look great in the acrylic frame. Okay. Now, does anybody have any questions about the roll of honor? If you find there is someone on the roll of honor, living, deceased, fallen, and that you would like to be able to take ownership of their profile, you can reach out to our help desk, which you will see down here is our help desk, and you can click on that and send us an email. I'm going to tell if you do that, it'll ask you to update your profile. All you have to do is click in the box and it takes care of it, okay? And it immediately sends us an email and we respond to you within probably 5 to 10 minutes at the very most, depending on the traffic that we have.
We have
The
a
other
question.
thing is,
Kim, we have a
Yes.
question. Go ahead.
My father, his family, there were 6 men who served in the military. There were 6 brothers. So
that is wonderful.
If I was going to, because we were talking about this Family History Project, of putting all of their information together, can you only load your own ancestor, or could I possibly load, if I was a member, load the other 5 and do all of it for the family on your site?
Correct. Yes, you can load anybody's profile, create a profile for anyone, and it's going to ask you what your relationship to them is, and then you continue on. Now, once you are a member, for you to search first and see if we don't already have a profile created for them. If we do, and you want to take ownership of your family, all you need to do is reach out to our help desk and let them know what you would like to do. Then we will link up your profiles. Okay? Then if you go through the roll of honor and find that we have them already on Together We Served, still reach out to the help desk and we will send you an invite. Create your family profile and skip the membership and the veteran information you would create normally and link you directly to their profile. And then you will take ownership of that profile. Does that make all sense, or?
Kind of not.
Why don't you maybe show how to take ownership of a profile so it would make more sense to the class?
Okay, so what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you if you wanted to create a family profile, okay? You could go out to Together We Served, and you can go to pick your branch of service for let's say like your six brothers. Were they all in the same service?
No.
Okay.
4 were in the Army and 2 were in the Navy.
I'm sorry?
4 were in the Army and 2 were Navy.
Okay, so what I would do then if I was you, I would click on Army, so you would be joining the Army, okay? It takes a minute. Right, like I said, right now we got that reach out email going, and we've got everybody coming back that doesn't remember their username and password because they never write it down. All right, so I'm going to log out because it automatically logs me in. All right, so you're going to come to this page right here, okay? And it'll say Army Together We Served, or Navy Together We Served once you choose your branch, all right? Then what you want to do is click Join, and you're going to enter your name. Do you mind giving me your information? We'll go ahead and create your profile.
Well, you can tell.
Why don't you, I'll tell you what, you want to use my name?
Sure.
Okay, I think I might already have an account, but
But is it, you don't have one on Army, right?
no, I don't have an Army.
Okay, we'll use yours. So you're going to put in your first name, last name, and then we're going to put in Suzanne. I'm sorry, go ahead. Your email.
Suzanne.
Okay.
Last name Malek, M like mother,
Is there,
A-L-E-K,
okay, is there any period or just together?
all together.
Okay. At,
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
it's Suzanne Malek at,
Let's use my work email. That would be S for Sue,
okay,
my last name Malek, M-A-L-E-K,
okay,
at tmcc.edu.
okay. All right, so once you enter your first name, last name, and your email address, you're going to click sign up. If you are a family member, you're going to choose either you're creating one for an assisted service page for a living veteran, or you're creating a remembrance service profile for a deceased veteran. They're both the same. It's just the difference between being assisted and remembrance. So let's say we're creating, if you are a veteran, then you are going to click military veteran or active duty to create a service page for yourself. So we have many veterans that want to create a profile for a brother that may have passed or for their father, and they think they need to sign in as a family member. If you are a veteran, you need to sign in as a veteran, create your profile, then I will show you how to be able to remembrance or an assisted profile. Okay, so we'll create a remembrance profile. It's going to ask you what zip code. I'm just going to go, and then email, your gender. You're going to create your profile. Then your state of residence, just going to ask for that. Suzanne moved to Louisiana, so.
Okay.
And then you're just going to set a password. I'll just use the one we have, standard. And then your password question, like your first car, your mom's maiden name. There's a couple of them, several of them there that you can use. And I'll just use my mother's. It's actually your middle name. Okay, so then you're going to go to next. All right. Now it's going to ask you information about your veteran. Okay, so this is where you're going to choose, were they MIA, were they fallen, did they die in a conflict, are they deceased? So let's choose deceased, and I'm just going to fill. Do you have a Army veteran, Suzanne?
Yeah, I have one from the Civil War.
Okay. Do you have any?
You want if I wanted to give you somebody sooner, I'd have to look it up in my tree.
Okay, well, let's just go with this, and then we can delete it, because you, on your Navy one, can create an Army profile from your Navy profile.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right, so it's male. At the time that they passed, they were active. They were a veteran. We'll just pick that they're. Okay, you can type the number in on this list, or you can scroll down. If you type the number in, okay, if you type the number in, let's say my grandfather died in 2007, make sure you click on that 2007 or it won't take it. It's going to ask for your final rank of your veteran, and I'm just choosing anything. And then they will ask for a birth date. If you don't know it, you can kind of estimate when they were born. Again, you need to make sure you click on this number. Then it's going to ask for a date that they passed in. Okay, any questions so far?
Any questions so far?
So I
Yeah.
have a question.
Go ahead.
What happens if you're using
I'm sorry.
gal, if you don't know the rank or the exact year that they went in? You have
Okay,
an
so the
approximate.
question was what happens if they don't have specific information like rank or the year they went
Okay.
in?
Then guesstimate. Okay, just kind of guess at when you think they might have. Then when you get into where your profile is and their profile, once you start finding out that information, you can update the profile. Okay, so let's say I wasn't sure of Joe's year that he joined the service, but I guessed at he wasn't there. Oh, sorry. 949. Let's say I'm guessing at his years, okay? So you can put anything. If you're not sure of the rank, just choose any one of them. Okay, it will help you get into where you can edit their profile. So then you would choose what relationship they were to you. And as you can see, it's only giving me choices of males. If you don't, there is a choice, and I don't know where they put it. It looks like they took it out. There used to be a choice that you could put that they were a friend, or like creating a profile for someone else who's not one of your ancestors. Okay, so I'm just going to click brother for now. There is a lot of little changes. This is where you can invite other family members to participate in updating the profile. All you have to do is their first name, last name, their email address, and their relationship to you. And then after you enter that information, you can just hit proceed. And the first thing it's going to do, it's going to take you out to that military plaque. So once you start learning about the information, you can update it actually from the military plaque. All right, this is where it's going to take you to the benefits of an associate. The cost of it is for an associate, for a family membership yearly is $9.95, not $19.95 like it is for our veterans. Decide that you want to sign up for this 10-day trial. You can do that here, or if you decide that you want to become a 3-year member or a lifetime member, then you would do that from your page. So you do have the option down here to continue it as associate member, or to say no thanks, continue as a free member. So that should answer your question whether or not it's free or you have to pay. So I'm going to click on no thanks. So what it does is it takes you out to that mini plaque. From here, if you know the information, you can correct it from here and add details. Okay, does that, if you got any questions, please stop me.
Kim, I have a question. You said that there was a code that they can use to get all these wonderful discounts. What are the codes,
yes,
and how long are they good for?
Forever, even though they'll tell you that, oh, this month, but it's a capital TWS, LESS, all caps, with 50 behind it.
Okay, that was T like together, W like we.
Yes.
And then L like Larry?
No, it is Tango, Whiskey, Lima, and then, Tango, Whiskey, Sierra, Lima, Echo, Sierra, Sierra, 50.
Okay, TWSLEFF.
SS.
Like sugar. Okay.
Yeah.
50.
50. Okay. All right. So to go to your profile, you would go to Profile, My Profile. That's going to take you out to your family profile. Now, a little secret about when you come to this page. You can stay in the single page if you'd like to. But if you click on Return to Notebook Layout,
Welcome to Together We
it actually looks like this, which I think to me is much easier to work with than that single page mode. On a tablet, you can go into a notebook mode. On a phone, you will stay in the single page mode. Okay? Now, see that you have a veterans profile. And let's say, and please, when you are signing up, use your family name, not the veteran's name. Okay? Because it causes a lot of confusion. So then if you want to go out to the veterans profile that you created, then there is their profile. Okay? And so if you find that the service years have changed, in each of these sections, there is an edit box, okay, that you can use to edit any section. You have to remember to go down and make sure that you save the details. So let's say I realized that my grandfather served only up until 1946. You can change that here. I realized I find out because I got his information that he was only a private first class. Now, I didn't know his MOS, but I got his DD-214. So it asks you that you do choose one. So I'm going to put that he was air crew enlisted, and you can, on the DD-214s, it will give you their NEC, MOS, and AFSC. The NEC is for Navy. It's a Navy enlisted code that goes with their rank, with their rate. For the Army, it is an MOS. Every MOS group has MOS numbers, and that MOS number would be on their DD-214. And you can find those in the section on the DD-214. And the PDF that I sent to Suzanne does walk you through finding those items on the DD-214. Okay? So you would just choose what they were, armor gunner. For the Army, if you knew that he was an air crew, you can choose air crew, or you can choose aviation, or just leave it blank for now. We don't know his unit yet, so then after you've done that, and let's say he went overseas one time, for the Army, it would be one stripe. For service stripes, for the Army, is every 3 years they get a service stripe. For the Marine Corps, the Coast Guard, and the Navy, they get a service stripe or hash mark for every 4 years. For the Air Force, it is all every 3 years, okay, for a hash mark. If they went overseas, then for the Army only, you can choose one overseas. You can fill out any of this information here. If you are not sure of how to read that DD-214 using the PDF, just and we will more than gladly say, can you send us the DD-214 or the military papers that you have? Please make sure to cover up the Social Security number or the service number, and we will go in and update that profile for you. Okay? Let's say we're adding a unit for him. You just hit add, and let's say on that DD-214, it tells you what his last unit was, because that's normally what you will find on a DD-214 is the last unit that they were assigned to. To find out more units they were assigned to, you would need to use that request email that I sent to Suzanne, because it goes in depth on how to make sure that you get all of their military records. Because sometimes they will send you back just a page or 1 or 2 pages, and you know that there's more to it. So in there, it tells you how to go about and what to say to make sure that you get those full records. Okay? It's kind of lengthy, but it's worth the read. And let's say I knew that he was in the 52nd. He was in the 52nd Aviation Battalion. So I would type in aviation. You could type in AV. It says on there that he was connected to the 252. All right. What that normally means is 2nd Battalion, 52nd Aviation Regiment. And then it's going to take me out to this. Let's say I know that he was in B Company. A lot of times you're not going to know that information from a DD-214, but you will know the last unit they were assigned to. And on that DD, he was a private first class. That DD-214 is also going to show you their last rank. That DD-214 is going to show you their NEC, or their AFSC if they're Air Force, MOS for Marines, and NEC for Navy and Coast Guard. So we'll just pick the air crew, and then I'm aerial gunner. If you're not sure of the location, it should tell you the location of their last. If it does not, I would just go and choose United States. Okay, so when I'm talking about after you add something, make sure you always save the details at the bottom. Always look for that save. Okay, to refresh that page, all you have to do is click on their name. All right, so now you can see their unit has been added. You can do the same thing for their ribbons. If you click add on their ribbons, it has a list of ribbons that would apply to the time period that they were in. Okay, with ribbons, we'll choose the Asiatic. Here, if they got more than one of that ribbon, all you have to do is choose the number of awards. It'll tell you on the DD-214, it would say Asiatic Campaign Medal with 3 devices. So you know that they have 3 of those ribbons, so you would just choose 3. And you can put, you're not going to know what years assigned, so you can just go ahead and save your award details. So then you'll see that we have that ribbon. And keep adding. Now, if you know that they earned a type of skill badge, which is, let's say for aviation, we know that he earned his basic jump wings. You would go down here and look for parachutists. That is what the jump wings are. You would just click the box, scroll back up, and then just go to the profile view. That is the only place you do not have to save details. The only place. Over here, unofficial badges, they all had different arm cords that they wore. And you'll find that on the DD-214, if they were infantry, it was infantry. And you would look through here and find that infantry cord. I think infantry is actually on official, which makes no sense, but let's just say he was artillery. Okay, and then with this, you have to scroll all the way down and save the unofficial badges. Okay, then you'll see that it shows up here. Okay, now, if you need to get back to your own profile and say that you have another relative that you want to create a profile for, assisted
Kim, before we go on to the next profile, adding a second relative, I think we have a couple of questions. Go ahead.
I'd like to ask you a question. Who could, once you put this information in, who has access to change it? Just you or anyone?
No one does, but you are admin. And admin is only 5 people. We have one that works through the night because he lives in the Philippines, which is his daytime. And then there's 4 of us on duty during the day. We are the only ones that could change that information, or you. Okay? The other thing I want to make clear is that even though we have your email address, where you live, that type of information, even for a veteran who joins, that type of information is not seen on your profile by anybody but us and you. We do not sell anybody's information to gain money because we respect our privacy, our veterans and families' privacy. We would never give that information out. If you got an email on USAA or AARP, we're sending it out on behalf of them. They have not gotten the emails to send it out for themselves. So your private information is protected. We are a very secure site.
Okay, we have
And
another.
same-
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. No, go ahead.
We have another question.
Is it likely a
Yes.
long-term service member, like 20-plus years, with multiple?
I'm sorry?
The question was, if somebody is in the service for multiple years, like 20 years, would they have multiple DD-215s, 14s?
Yes. Yes. Like for myself, every 4 years that I re-enlisted, I had got a DD-214
And so each of these,
because I re-enlisted. So for every time they re-enlisted, they would get a DD-214.
and each of these have additional go into this database?
The question was, would each one of those DD-214s, would they have additional information that you can input into this
Most
software?
definitely, yeah. Yes, because like, let's say my first DD-214 I received after 4 years had my last command on it with information that I did or schools that I did during that time. At 8 years, when I got my second DD-214, it put what command I was at last, and it also will put any more awards that I may have been awarded, or accommodation letters and stuff of that manner, and schools. If they were in a conflict, it will be listed on their DD-214. If they were in an operation, it will be listed on their DD-214. So yes, if they were in 20 years, what branch of the service?
Navy?
Navy? Okay, so every 4 years, that shipment, those sailors got a DD-214. Each one of those DD-214s is going to give you more information about their units and what they did at that time.
Another question.
Did I hear her say that you could send the details to them and they would help pull out the information off of it? Since it's kind of
Yes.
And where would we send that at?
You would send that to admin at togetherweserved.com. And then all you need to let us know is that you are a new family member and would like help filling out the profile, our profiles.
And so if you have a lifetime membership with your organization, you would help us do that and get it online?
Well, we ask you to go ahead and create your family profile, create what you can for your veteran, and then contact us, letting us know that you need help completing the profile. Attach those DD-214s to your email. We will complete that profile for you. Then we will send you an email letting you know that we have completed the profile. Then, once the profile's completed, you can also go out and under their name, if we have an image, we may ask you, do you have an image of them, a service image, or a latest photo image that we could add here? Then you could go out and click that mini plaque, and then you could go out it'll take you out to the mini plaque page with their completed profile information that is designed, to be on there, and you can email that to yourself and download it, which we will send you when we welcome you aboard. We will send you the information on how to do that with the mini plaque. We also have a service that's called a shadow box. Once we have it completed, it will show up like this. So you would have all their units listed, all of their ribbons listed, any unofficial or official badges listed, any last known activity or other comments that you had put in there listed. Okay, it will have their rank listed, job they did. So it would be a shadow box of their military service. Okay, whereas the mini plaque doesn't contain all of the units. It just has the primary unit assigned to that shows on it, and it only shows their ribbons and their skill badges, whereas the shadow box shows everything. Okay.
Kim, I have a question. If you remember, the other day I emailed you a picture of some military lapel pins that my father
Yes.
had, and I couldn't
Yes.
find them. Where would you find those on the website?
Okay. A a lot of times those military lapel pins, sorry, are what they wore on their lapels that identified their, like for Army, it identified what their corps was. Like if they were just Army Corps, or they were the Ordnance Corps, or they were Air Corps. So if you cannot find that, if you look for the lapel pin in the official and unofficial badge area.
Can you show us how to get there?
Yes, yes. So let's say that you needed to find a lapel pin for Joseph, and he was Army Air Force group, okay? So you would go down here. You know what? Let me change his MOS, and I'm going to make him ordnance. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and save this. All right. To find those, you want to go to Edit on official badges. Okay. So I'm sorry, I went quite fast. Official. Unofficial badges, and you're looking for the ordnance one. So you can go up here. There's official badges, recruiting badges, cross service, German combat identifier, all types of them. But you're going to pretty much stay in the official badges. I would do, and you can just start scrolling through here and try to match them up. Or the easiest way that you can do this is to actually send an image like you did to me, and we'll identify it for you and email you back and let you know which one it was. But if you want to take the time to look through here for their skill badge, you can do that. Okay, so this is one way to try to identify what they may be. Excuse me. And if you cannot find it, please let us know, and we'll make sure we get it taken care of for you. That is what your admin is for. We are here to help you guys. And I'm going to try to see here. I don't believe that we have them under Edit unofficial badges, because that would have been a lapel pin. But some may be, but I don't believe that they are. And I may sound like I don't know much. I really know it. It's just that sometimes I have to look for it, because there is so much that as chief admin, I have to make sure it's not just, making sure that profiles are done, that our volunteers are helping our family members and our veterans. It's 2 million veterans and their profiles, whether deceased or living. It's all the programming behind and dealing with all of them. So I do know a little bit. I may not sound like it, but I do.
No, actually, I think I just saw his lapel pin when you were scrolling through those. I think I just saw it.
Which one? Which did you?
It was the one with the ship on it. Go down a little further.
Okay.
Hold on. I think it's that one right there. Oh, you went too far. Yeah, that one right there. It's right next to the one that's like got an eagle. Yeah, that one right there. I think that's it.
Okay, wait a minute. Stop. Who got that lapel pin?
My father.
He was a Doolittle Raider?
No, well, I only remember, I sent you the picture the other day when we were talking. I remembered it had a ship on it.
If he has that lapel pin, he was a Doolittle Raider. Have you read up on the Doolittle Raiders?
I haven't.
They are the ones that found a way after Japan hit Pearl Harbor. They found a way to get a B-52 off the flight deck of an aircraft carrier, and they are the ones that dropped the bombs over Hiroshima.
Wow.
And then they landed in China, because they had to fly off early because they had been spotted, and so they didn't have enough gas to return. So when they had to crash land or try to make it to China, a lot of them didn't. However, many of them did. And they were called the Doolittle Gang. You need to read up on that history, Suzanne, because your grandfather, your father, was a Doolittle Raider, and he definitely needs to be recognized. I mean, they played a big part in the war. So, have you ever watched?
Yes. Kim, hold on. We have another question.
Yes.
Was a reservist for 2 years after.
Okay, so the question was, is there a way to enter in part-time reserve duties? Like if they were like part-time civil servant, part-time something else?
Okay, so the civil servant would not be entered, but if they were in the reserves and they were active, when you create their profile, you need to put the first day they signed into the military to the last day that they got out of the military, whether reservists are active. Did that answer your question?
Did it answer?
I'll call the help desk.
Okay. Yeah, because what it is that the first time they signed up in the military, active, and let's say they got out for a while, then they went into the reserves for a little while, then you would put the last day they got out of the reserves. So the service years include all of those years. Then we can put what units they were in for their active time. Then if they had broken service, it would be under unit assignments. We would put the years and it would say broken service. And then let's say they went into the reserves, then we would put that date and then put what unit they were assigned to for the reserves. Does that help?
Yes. Yes, she said yes. And we have another question.
Yeah, what about National Guard?
Yes, we do have national. So let me show you that real quick. So if they're in the National Guard and their whole service, you would come down here and you would choose ARNG for the National Guard if they were active or if they were a veteran. Okay? That help? And then you would enter their ribbons also, and we have a spot right here for National Guard awards. They added those ribbons just like you would a regular ribbon bar.
We have another question.
Okay.
Does the PDF that she sent out, does it have where to contact who write for the DD?
The question was, where do you get the DDT 214s if you don't have them?
It's a DD 214. Yes, it does have a link. However, I did send Suzanne a document that goes into great explanation on how to order their full military records. If you only order the DD 214, you may not get nearly enough information. If you try to order for their full military records, you're going to find you're going to get a lot more.
Thank you.
We have another question.
On those military
Yes.
records, how long does it take to get those?
It could take anywhere from 30 days to 2-3 weeks. And it's free to get those.
Then you have that information.
Yeah, did you include that in the handouts that you gave me?
Yes, I
Okay.
did. You should find one that says order your DD 214 or official records.
Okay, Kim, let me just intercede here for a second. She sent me a bunch of documents, not just the ones that you have Xeroxed right here today, because if I had copied everything she sent me, it would have been about 100 pages per person. So what I'm going to do is in the links that I send out next week for today's lessons, all the links will be included in the email, and then you can just print out what you want, because I figured not everyone's going to have Marines, Navy, Army, Air Force, so I just figured this way people can print exactly what they needed. Okay, I'm sorry, Kim, go ahead.
That's okay. No, that's fine.
Oh, hold on, we have another question.
Yes.
How do you
Oh, that's a good question. How do you enter a profile for somebody who served in 2 different branches?
What you're going to do, since as a family member, you would create let's say I want to go back to my family profile, which is right there, and I want to create this is an Army one. So I want to create another remembrance profile or assisted profile. It doesn't matter. You're going to go create remembrance profile. It's going to take you through this whole thing like you did at the beginning. So if they were in another service, the same person, you're going to put U.S. Navy. This is where it's going to. Okay, this is what I wanted to make clear, and I didn't. If you want to create more than one profile, they do ask you to upgrade. Okay, so to upgrade for 3 years is $19.95. For a year, it's $19.95, but that is a yearly subscription that will auto-renew. The lifetime is $49.95. If you select this, enter that promo code I gave you, okay? And it's going to make this $49.95 about $25. And that's for forever. Okay, are there any questions?
That answered my question as well, because my father was in both the Navy as well as the Air Force.
Right, and so as a free member, to create more than one profile on your family profile, you will need to upgrade.
Okay.
Okay? And like I said, if you do the $19.95 for 3 years, enter that promo code, make sure you apply it, please. It'll only make this about $10 for 3 years. And you can add as many profiles as you want. Okay? It doesn't matter what service branch they were in. You can create that from your family profile. Just be sure that you choose which branch they were in and then go on to create their profile. Okay, any questions?
No, not right now.
Okay. Are there any more questions on the family portion?
No?
Okay. Going back, I want to show you that I would really, really, really urge you to do. This is called a reflections video. Not the reflections. And what it is questions asking you about your veteran. And the more information you can put in, it is shared among other people. And let's say we still have, it'll show over, that's the other thing. Over here, all we an icon person, whether you're in that single page format and you see a number under here, if you click on that number, it will give you who was in that unit in the time that you were are there. Okay? There's also a unit page. Every unit that we add has a unit page. Whether we have information on it or not, it depends if somebody's taken ownership of the unit page. But it will give you information of everybody who's been assigned to that unit from when the unit was first created to when it was last deactivated or is still present. Okay, so every unit, you can click on the number under the icon person. It's the same way in that single page format. Okay.
Kim, I have a question. You said if somebody has ownership of that unit page, could anyone volunteer to be the admin for that unit page?
Yes. Yep. If you want to be the administrator of the unit page and add information and unit history and things of that nature, if you know about a reunion information, you could let us know. So you would maintain this unit page, and then it would inform all the members of this unit of the updates that you put on here. Okay, that is another thing about checking out those unit pages, is that a lot of times you will find if there's ownership of a unit page, and several hundred of them, thousands of them are, a lot of people that were in the unit, no matter what they served, add photos. So you may be able to find more in those photos also.
Now, through the unit page, is that how you network up with other people who are still alive that were in your unit?
No, that would be, you would click here. Let me show you.
And the reason I asked this, I think I was talking to you the other day about a friend of mine who is going kind of toe-to-toe with the VA right now.
Yes.
And he did not have nowhere how to get a hold of anybody that was with him in Korea. And he was looking for people who were still alive in his unit.
Right, and that's if you wanted to help him, you could create an assisted profile for him with his. Okay. Once you do that, like if I go out to my last duty station, or his unit, let's just say his unit, okay? Once you have that inputted into his assisted profile, you would go out to that unit page, and it will list a lot of people that were there when you say this unit only. And you can network with these people, but your best bet is, again, to go, I got to change my layout here, sorry, hold on. Where you would see that icon person over here normally, and you're going to see this number that I was telling you about. You would click on that. What that's going to do, it's going to give you a list of names of people who were there during the same years that he was. Okay, am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where you can see people. And as a paid member, you would be able to go out and, let's say I want to go talk to, Ann Westerfield. The problem is if you see this right here, this email is no longer valid, it's very hard to reach out to them. So they may have blocked their email. And if they had, and you really need to reach them, please reach out to the admin desk and let us know who the person is that you're trying to reach. And we will try to email them directly or find a way maybe that I'll get one of our locator guys on it and see if we can find a phone number to send you. Okay? So that in that way we can help. Let's say your friend and you make his assisted profile. If he the name that he's looking for, all you would need to do is reach out to the help desk and let us know that you are looking for such and such person. We need their approximate age that they are now. If they know the state that they were from, or someone they were married to, or a family member's name, all of that will help us to try to locate that person for them. And when I mean we locate, we go outside of TWS and search. And like I said, I put my, veterans on it that were PIs, and they come up with a lot of information for me, and they're very quick about it. Okay, does that help?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right. Any more questions about the family profiles currently?
No, doesn't look like anyone has their hand up.
Okay. Do I have any veterans on, or are mainly family members?
Raise your hand if you're a veteran. Everybody who's a veteran, raise your hand. Okay. How about family of veterans? Randall, that would be you because you have a missing veteran still, right?
Oh,
Yeah, so almost everybody in the class.
Okay, so that would be that they would join as family then. Okay. If they have a missing veteran, what conflict were they in?
I have a missing veteran from Korea.
From Korea, that they still haven't been able to identify?
No, he's still missing. And in fact, I get about a letter like every 6 months from the military. I can't remember the name of the branch. It's like a mortuary branch. And they send me like a letter about every 6 months letting me know that they're having a family meeting in my area. And if I would like to attend to get the latest information on my ancestor.
Right. Have you been DNA'd?
I'm sorry, what?
Has any of your family members had their DNA done?
Yes, I've already donated my DNA, so if they ever do find
Okay.
him, it'll match my DNA.
All right, so what I would like for you to do is to reach out to me directly. You have my email address, and you can pass it on to other anyone that's watching this. I need you to send me his name, as much as you know of it, the conflict, and if you know approximately what year he might have joined. Okay.
You know what?
And
This is a really good time to bring up this, because if you do have any missing, from conflict where they fell on the battlefield and their remains were never retrieved, there
Yes.
is a branch of the military that will work with you. And by the way, Kim, not only do they work with me like on a regular basis and keep me informed about what's going on, but they actually sent me for free his entire military paperwork. And I was amazed at the investigation they did to locate him. They interviewed everybody who was on the battlefield with him that day when he fell, and they actually know exactly where he was when he fell. And they interviewed every one of them, and they have the witness statements of what happened to him, dictated and transcribed inside the profile, and they sent me all of his medical records. They sent me everything, and I didn't pay a penny for it.
Wow, and what side is that?
I'm sorry, what?
What side is that?
Oh, I'd have to get it. It's at home. I don't have it with me today, but I'll definitely bring it and show it to the class next week. In fact, I'll bring his profile next week, and I'll show them what a mortuary file looks like. It's really quite interesting.
Okay. Yeah, if you could do that for me.
Oh, hold on. Kim, Randall has a relative who's in the exact same situation on the other side of the classroom, and he has a relative in the exact same situation. Go ahead, Randall.
Yeah, I have a cousin that was killed in the Philippines, and he's buried in the Philippines. I've got a lot of information on it, but I'm trying to get more, and I'm not sure how to go about doing that.
Okay, so go ahead and get the link from Suzanne to order those military records again, and do it as per the instructions that we have in there. Okay, even though in the close to the bottom we tell you in the comments box, even if you're doing it for the first time, to tell them this is the second time I have tried to get these records. Make sure you put that in there. Don't change it to the first time or anything. If it's the third time, then put the third time. But otherwise, leave it as is, because you will find that you will get a lot more information by doing this. We've tested it, so we have gone through and tried to get OIF records, which is ordering information about a certain conflict. I put that link in there, and then you have your regular DD 214. I have that link is in there. There should be also a link in there how to order a replacement set of medals, because you get one free replacement set of medals. And then, so definitely look through that, read it, and go ahead and order it the way that we have it laid out in that records request.
Kim, let me interject here. I ordered my father's military replacement medals because I never got them after he passed away. Other relatives got them, and it was a very easy process. All I had to do was give them his serial number, his military serial number, his social security number I had, his name, his birth date, his death date, and I had a little bit of information that I'd gotten off of Ancestry.com on his military. I sent it off, and it took, I don't know, maybe a month or two, and they're brand new, spanking new medals. They all came individually wrapped in beautiful boxes, and I'm in the process right now of creating a shadow box for my father with all his, with the burial flag, as well as all his replacement medals, which I did not pay 1 penny for. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, and the fact that your father had a Doolittle Raider pin, you may want to print up some of that information about the Doolittle Raiders. Have you watched that movie, the last one they made, Pearl Harbor?
No.
Okay. If you watch Pearl Harbor, you're going to get some of the history about the Doolittle Raid.
There's a separate movie about it.
Oh, yes. They're saying that there's actually a separate movie on the Doolittle.
Yeah. Yes, there is. Yes.
Okay, we have a few more questions. Hold on, go ahead, speak loudly. The question was, how far back can you go for requesting the medals? Can you go back to the Civil War?
Yes, you can request back as far as, and as if they have the records, then they will send it to you.
Does that include Medal of Honor?
Oh, if they're a Medal of Honor, yeah, they're definitely going to get that.
And then we have another question.
Oh, I had the same question.
Oh, same question,
They had,
okay.
You know, where could you find, they said they died, but they didn't have any place where they were buried, and how would you go about that? Finding out
Okay.
where Civil War veterans are buried when they're not buried in their locale. He was killed somewhere else, but it doesn't say where he was buried.
Okay, so what I would try doing is go ahead and reach out to us and we'll see what we can find. Unfortunately, a lot of them were not recorded. There may be a lot of them that have been buried in national cemeteries, and you can go to the national cemetery site and put their name in and see if it doesn't come up with the burial site for them.
It goes true with revolution.
Would you be able to find that for the Revolutionary War as well?
You may. I don't know that you will find as many, but you may be able to find some.
It's interesting. Just this week in the news, I heard a story about how, I can't remember, it was somewhere on the East Coast. They just discovered a Revolutionary soldier burial ground, and it was something had been built over it many years before, and they're just now trying to identify the remains.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Now, also as a full member, as a family member, you can get into our forums. You can read our latest dispatch newsletters, which are quite interesting. It's just, we write about a book review. We have several articles about people that were in the military. There's a lot on TWS. It's just taking the time to explore it all. I could be here all day with you trying to show you everything.
Kim, if you are active military right now, or even just somebody who is retired from the military, you get to join Together We Serve for free, or do you still have to pay if you're a veteran?
There's the same thing with the veterans. It's a 2-level membership, free or full.
Okay, thank you.
Now, if they are an active duty member, and this is going over the president's head, but if they are active duty, have them email me directly, and if they join, I will go ahead and give them a free membership for a couple of years, a full membership.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Also, if you are a veteran and you're retired and you're out, we can always use volunteers on Together We Served if you would like to volunteer. And if genealogy is the area that you like to work in, we can get you a free account to Ancestry, Fold 3, and the newspapers that we use. And then we have a lot of other sites I've been gathering from my researchers that they use. Some I did not know about. So if you decide that, you make your profile being a veteran and you would like to volunteer and be on a memorial team, that is wonderful. We actually have wives and husbands of fallen or deceased veterans and assisted veterans that volunteer their time also. We have a gal whose husband was a Marine, and she's one of our historians on the Marines. So we do have that historian team that works with us, that are volunteers. They have to be family of military, or they were or are military. Okay, we had a great historian that was. He was absolutely wonderful. He was 18 years old, but we lost him to the Army, so and he's doing really great. But never hesitate to ask us a question, okay? Never hesitate to reach out to us about something. If you create that family profile and you have all that information and you're really not sure what to do with it, just reach out to us at the email address and just say, I need help creating my veterans profile. And we will do everything that we can to help you complete that profile. Okay? And then, like I said, the military plaques that I showed you are free. And once you have that all completed, then we can work, send that to you, or we can send you instructions on how to download that and save it to your computer and then have it printed. I'm with veterans. When you join, it's basically the same thing. The best thing to do is to have your DD 214 in hand so you can answer the questions that it asks you when you're joining. Again, it may seem like we're asking for a lot of personal information. We ask for your current state of residence, your zip code, and birth date if you want to put it in, and your email address and a phone number if you want to put that in. But we do these things so we can identify you if there's ever a problem trying to log in, or if we find that somebody else is, taken or created a profile with your information. So, like I said, only you and the admins will see that, nobody else. Nobody gets your email, nobody gets your phone number, nobody gets to know your birth date. So, now, any other questions with anything that I can? One of the things I was going to suggest to Suzanne, if you're really into the genealogy, like it sounds like you guys are, and I wish, I had the time to start going to a class like this, is going to your local assisted or senior living and talking with some of them, and maybe, find some veterans story and make a profile for them, and then you could have that plaque, and you don't have to do it as as a full member, and just have that plaque made for them, and it's something you can give to their families, and you've done this genealogy work for them. So
that's a wonderful suggestion, because there's actually several people in this class that are very interested in oral history. So I think that that's something that would really easily plug in and go hand in hand with oral history.
Right. And the thing is that if they do and they get all that information on that person, all their military information, and then they get, they do an interview with them, or they, do an audio interview with them, TWS would honor them. They, the profile could be put on here and their story be told, and it's going to be credited to the person that does it. Do you have the ability to download an oral history recording, like an MP3 file or an MP4 file? Yes, I do. And then we can put that to their reflection questions, or I can print out those reflection questions, and they can ask them those questions, and then we can fill it in on their profile.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Right. So then, and once it's done, and the person that's done the work can let the family know, hey, this is what I've done. This is where their military history is being kept alive. So the family can always go out and see it. So it's always there, because I have so many, like you guys are doing now, that have military people. You want to know their history. You want to find a place to keep it alive, and DWS is one of the biggest military organizations on the web with more information than other military sites have on all the branches. And if we don't have it, we will try to find it for you.
Now, that brings up a question. Stephen, we're sitting right over here, one of our attendees here in the lab, he works with the LDS Church over at their local family history library. And they have a wonderful suite of online programs, subscription services like Ancestry.com. Do you offer this to the LDS Church as part of their suite?
I don't know. I will need to check into that. I don't know that we do.
The LDS Church does have Fold 3.
Through Ancestry.
through Ancestry.
Okay.
Seems like you'd be a really good fit for, for assisting with their genealogical services.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like you'd be a great historian on a volunteer.
Now, Steve, do you want to volunteer? Along with all your other volunteering?
I'd love to help you find someone. I've got somebody in mind I'd like to, the director of our library, to become the expert on and the volunteer.
Excellent.
Oh, that would be excellent. Yes. So definitely reach out to the email. My personal email is Kim, Kim, dot Craft, C, like in Charlie, R-A-F-T, like in Kraft macaroni and cheese. So it's kim.craft at togetherweserved, SERVED.com.
Want to repeat that one more time?
Yeah, it's Kim, Kim, dot Craft, C-R-A-F-T, at togetherweserved, served is with a D, .com. Then you can just email,
Perfect.
Okay, and you can just email me if you want to remind me how we met. Just say, hey, I was on the video, and when you were having that crazy hair day, and I'll know exactly where you came from.
Okay, was there anything else, Kim, that you'd like to show the class?
I could show them things all day long. There after when you come in and you go to your profile, you're going to see a tab that says Home. Hit that Home page tab because there's a lot of great information on our home pages also. For instance, real quickly, let's go back to Suzanne's family profile and then click on Home. It'll be sometime today. We'll get there. So on our home page, you can invite a family member, create, remember. You can look at the latest reflections, combat photos, training photos, duty photos. Our Voices Archive is a list of month and tell their story and send it out. Okay, they're really, really great. So this is what a Voices Archive looks like. Voices looks like. We honor one person a month. It has a really great reflections, whether they're living, deceased, or fallen. Okay, and so this gets sent out. All the Marines that are on our site, which is over 200,000 of them. Okay, so they get to read about this story. And if it is a story that is created, let's say by one of you that have people that you're working with and they're veterans, like I said, even there are so many that are in nursing homes or that are in assisted living and senior retirement places that are veterans, that their stories are going to get lost if somebody doesn't take the interest. And we try to reach as many as we can, but some are not comfortable with computers. So I push on that. So you can see I'm sorry.
No, we were all kind of laughing because we all have, room to learn more about computers.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, I was in IT in the Intel arena. And then when I got out, I became a single parent. And then so I started my own photography business. I took a hobby and turned it into a profession so I could be home with my kids. I thought about getting back into the IT field after the last one joined the Navy, but it was like I'd have to go back to college. My grandson can make me look bad sometimes on a computer, and he's 9. I look at him like, just step away from my computer, just step away. But anyway,
could you show the class how to also download an MP3 file into someone's profile?
What they would need to do actually is to send it to us, because what we'll have to do is that we have to put it into our video loader, or we put it up to YouTube and then load it to the profile.
Okay, and then I have since so many of our veterans have already passed. Like for instance, my father passed away close to 30 years ago. And however, I don't have any oral history recordings of him, but I do have oral history recordings of his sister talking about him, which is my aunt, about his military service. Would I be able to put that kind of MP3 file into my father's profile?
Yes, we can put that video into there for you. So we would ask that, because we'll turn it into a file that we can upload. And then if you have some pictures, then, we would at least have a picture on the front, then people could listen to that audio file. And then we could also take it, once we listen to it, we would also take it and we would transcribe it into the reflections.
Wow. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Right. But like I said, here on the home page, you can see our reflections person of the day. If you go out to their page as a full member, you'll be able to see their full profile, their reflections. See, because it asks, that's one of the full membership things. And I know a lot of our veterans and them feel like we get a lot of them saying, I can't believe you're charging us, but I sometimes want to argue that, the VFW charges you umpteen dollars a year and you are a member, but do you go to the meetings, And I try to explain to them TWS is member supported. Without our members that have paying memberships, we would not be able to keep the doors open. So if it seems like we kind of push that sometimes, that is the reason why. And for, $9 or $10 a year is, not really that much. I mean, to some people it is, and I completely understand that, but I'm just trying to explain why we have our two levels. I wish we could make it free for everybody, but we just don't have the funds that we can acquire. So
I think that the cost structure is very reasonable. Very, very, very reasonable.
Yeah.
Especially
yes.
the discount code.
Right, and especially, like I said, do the life membership, and then you don't have to worry about anything. With the code, it's it's like $25.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's it.
Okay, let's see here. Do we have any other questions? No, I guess not. So unless there's anything else that you'd like to show us, I guess we'll go ahead and say goodbye. Was there something else that you wanted to show us?
Well, here, let me look for the little picture thing again. Okay, so what I was talking about the home page is that there's a lot of, really great things on the home page that, you can look into as a full member. The pictures, as free members, you can go through and you can see what our trending photos are, and then you can see what our latest photos are of members that have uploaded their pictures. We have job postings, we have military news, we have forthcoming reunions. And if you're a full member, you can visit cross-site and look for other profiles or research on that site. If you ever have where you see a sit rep, it is just what it is for the military. It's called a situation report, and it's just reporting in what's for the day and what the goals are. If you're sitting at home on your couch and just wanted to say hi, you can put that in there. We get some of the funniest things put in there sometimes. And then we have the forum threads that are open to families is the Family Open Forum and the VA Administration Forum and the Cross Open Forum, where a lot of different information is put in also. You see right here, the family members of Veterans Forum, that is something that is open to read as a free member, but to post to it, you have to be a full member. But you can post a question here, and myself or one of my admins are going to get back to you right away. By the end of that day or the next day, they'll give you an answer. Okay, so that is another way to reach us.
Kim, you mentioned when we were talking the other day when we were doing the sound test, you mentioned that if you subscribe to the electronic version of the Veterans Administration's newsletter, that there is some sort of a discount that you can get?
Yes, if you look at the latest VA newsletter that went out, there is a mention of TWS in that newsletter with a link. If you come in through that link, you can join, but you have to be a veteran. Because the VA should be veteran members.
And what kind of a discount do you get by using the Veterans Administration electronic newsletter code? What do you get?
There is no code. If you come in through their website, you get 1 year free.
Oh, okay.
As a veteran.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for all you veterans out there, subscribe to the electronic version of the Veterans Administration newsletter. Get a year for free. That's great.
Yeah, because there's a link in there that lets them go in and come, but they have to come through from that newsletter, the link from the newsletter, because it is a special URL, because then when you sign up and you've come from that URL, it automatically applies that 1 year. Okay. As far as other things, for free members, if you're trying to find somebody, you can do a simple search. You could do by last name, first name, or you can also do by units and put the years that your veteran served and put the name of the unit. That'll also bring up a list of names of people. However, you got to remember, being a free member, you can only see their name and their shadow box information. You cannot actually see their full profile. Okay, so the search tool is wonderful. For full members, there's an advanced mode, so there's more advanced options that are available to you. Then, like I said, you have your upgrade tab, your profile, and my home. For individuals that use a phone, this is what it's going to look like on your phone. It's actually a little different. Up in the left-hand corner, there's going to be 3 little lines. And if you click on those 3 lines, that is going to be your menu, which will take you out to your profile, which will take you to the home page. If you're like in the Army and you're looking for soldiers, it will say members, and you look under that members are the soldiers. Say find a soldier, create a profile, a veteran profile, or deceased or assisted profile. For veterans, it's the same thing. When you are a veteran and you have created your own profile, I don't have mine open here. And you've created your own profile, you can scroll down your profile, and down here it's going to have create an assisted page for a veteran, remember every veteran. So it's the same thing as if you were, as family members are coming in and creating a profile. You would create a profile for someone, and it will show up here under your remembered or your assisted veterans profiles, okay? And then when you upload pictures, you would upload them, for family, you would upload them on the veterans profile. You go in and you can add photos. For military, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to see your photo album of, mine say flagged photos, but it's actually latest photos. So, and then like I said, right here where we have personal and military videos, that's, Suzanne, is the kind of the area that we would upload that audio to once we make it into a video.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, Kim, I have a question. It's slightly off topic, but one of our class attendees has a ancestor that fell overseas and is buried overseas during a conflict. And that person is interested in bringing that veteran, that soldier home, to be buried on American soil. Now, I know from talking to you the other day, you have a tremendous amount of contacts within the military through your organization. Would you be able to assist with that?
Yes, have them reach out to my personal email and let me know about it and the name, and I will reach out to Karen to find out how a person can go about making that happen.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. And then I will get back to them and let them know what I found out and who they need to contact to try and make that happen for them. Because we've had a lot of family that have, requested that someone come back home.
I have another question. Actually, this is a more personal question. My father had a marriage before my mother, and while he was serving in Guam, and his first wife, before he married my mom, his first wife and him had a child, and that child was born in Guam while he was stationed there, and did not live more than a few days. And he's buried in a military cemetery, because he's the child of my father while he was active duty. And we would like to bring that child home. Could you assist with that as well?
I will reach out to Karen again, and I will reach out to one of our memorial team, actually Joe Armstrong, and ask them, is there a way to bring that child home? She wants to bring her half-sister home, and so to have her buried here. So let me email me, let me find out what I can, and then let you know.
Okay, great. I will email you. I have a lot of specifics on the incident.
That would be great. Especially to have her name, what cemetery she's buried in, and then finding out who you would need to reach out to see if you can make that happen.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Any last questions? Okay. Let's give her a big hand, shall we? Okay. You've been a great help, and I'm sure a lot of the people in the past will be reaching out directly to you through the email, and I will be sending all the attachments that you sent me in your file. I will be sending out to them. I do a weekly email list, and they will be getting everything in this coming few days when I send them all out.
Okay. Well, it's been really great. I'm glad I could answer some of your questions. Like I said, you have my personal email. If you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. It's been really great to be here.
And I appreciate so much, Kim.
Oh, you're welcome. And I want to tell you, I do appreciate everything you guys do when you're looking into genealogy. I think is absolutely wonderful. You're keeping history alive.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.